Hey everyone, Tony here. Hope you're doing well. It's Tuesday, November 20th. Have some news to share with you guys. First, let's take a look at the market. We are still seeing the downward trend. In fact, even XRP has started to pull back significantly. It's currently at 42 cents. Now, we've been talking about how it's been holding the number 2 spot, and it still is. There's still a big gap between XRP and Ethereum, but it was maintaining a certain support level, but now it's pulling back. And I started getting a whole bunch of comments of people telling me I should sell all my Bitcoin or other cryptos that I hold for XRP. And I want you guys to be careful with that because, none of us can predict the future. Sure, we're looking at the market and we're seeing some movements. But as I personally stated, and this is just my opinion, I hold a variety of cryptos that includes Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Stellar Lumens, and many others. I believe there will be multiple winners coming out of this market. And once again, that's just my perspective. There's different tokens that solve different needs and use cases. Like Ethereum smart contract, I believe will be a major winner. And I've shared news with the actual adoption being used by banks and governments and so forth. Are any of the others on the same level as Ripple XRP from a utility standpoint and adoption and partnerships? No, but that doesn't mean they're not going to be winners. So I hope you guys understand that. It's very easy to say, well, my coin is better and it's gonna, you should sell everything else and put it into XRP. The majority of my portfolio is XRP, and then I have Bitcoin and so forth. And I'm long on Bitcoin for sure. Even Brad Garlinghouse of Ripple has said he's long on Bitcoin. So you have to think about this holistically. And I know it can be exciting to see XRP going well, and of course it is. You're holding your portfolio, but that doesn't mean nothing else will not come out of this market doing well also. So just keep that in mind. But remember, I like to be transparent and open with you guys. I still believe XRP will move to number 1 and it will have the greatest utility. But I got in Bitcoin and Ethereum and so forth at lower prices. So I'm not moving my positions there. And I, of course, got in low on XRP. And that's why it's the majority of my portfolio. So I hope you guys understand that. Now, obviously, the market continues to go down here significantly. But what we know as far as not just the price movements and not looking at this with our emotions, but looking at the facts, a lot of big money, a lot of infrastructure was set up this year and is still in the process of being set up. We had news of Fidelity, TD Ameritrade, of course, Bakkt coming in, a lot of Wall Street folks getting in, a lot of hedge funds and investment firms launching crypto services. We see the SEC is moving forward with regulations. So there are things happening behind the scenes, even though the market is down. And if you guys saw my interview with Ronnie Moez, who's a guy who's been in the stock market, with his predictions and picks, and he's rated very high, and now he's also doing crypto picks. Well, he tweeted the following today, and I'm definitely in full agreement with this because what do I always tell you guys? Don't look at the short term, look at the long term. That's what Fidelity, that's what Bakkt, that's what TD Ameritrade are doing. They're not worried about these price dips, guys. They're looking bigger picture. So he tweeted 10 to 15 years from now, Bitcoin, now he's using Bitcoin as an example here, will probably be well above $100,000, maybe above $200,000, less than 50% of where gold is today. Your kids and grandkids will be asking why you did not buy Bitcoin when it went on sale, when the price dropped below 5,000 in November 2018. He also gave a comparison here of the NASDAQ 20 years ago. Now, you guys know if you invested on some of these top, like Bitcoin, Amazon, and so forth, you know how much money you would have made by now, or even not even now. I mean, even going back years ago, right? Because there were some big winners that came out of it. And he said here, I've been saying all year in nearly every one of the greater than 100 television, radio, magazine, and newspaper interviews I gave that what is happening in crypto today is exactly what happened in NASDAQ 20 years ago. Buy now or cry later. Morgan Stanley chart and compared to the Bitcoin axis here. So I agree with him on that. And I've stated many times, right? I miss Google and Amazon. I'm not missing that opportunity again. And Once again, if you've been a subscriber to this channel, you've heard me say that. And that's why I'm and so bullish on crypto, and not just because it's because I feel that this is something related to the .com, but it's similar in that it's revolutionary technology. It's going to change the world. Crypto is a new asset class that's here to stay. We've seen the governments are releasing their regulations, all the things that they need to put into place to regulate the market as it grows. And what did I tell you guys? With the manipulation going on in the market, it wouldn't be surprising if there's a big sell-off to drop the prices as low as possible, so that the big money can continue to buy over the counter at very low prices. And of course, we know a Bitcoin ETF is around the corner. All the major guys have been saying it. There's a December 29th deadline, but it will most likely happen in February. And we were supposed to have the launch of Bakkt on December 12th. However, that got pushed back. They announced today. So let me give you guys the details. Intercontinental Exchange's Bitcoin's futures trading platform is delaying its formal launch. Announced Tuesday via a company blog post, Bakkt's first product, unveiled in August, has now been postponed to January 24th, 2019. Trading and warehouse operations are both expected to begin on that date. The platform explained that the new listing timeframe will provide additional time for customer and clearing member onboarding prior to the start of trading and warehousing of the new contract. In an announcement on Medium, Bakkt CEO Kelly Loeffler expanded on this statement, saying that the volume of interest in the company and the work required to get all the pieces in place contributed to the delay. Here's a quote. She said, "As is often true with product launches, there are new processes, risks, and mitigants that to test and retest, and in the case of crypto, a new asset class to which these resources are being applied. So it makes sense to adjust our timeline as we work with the industry toward launch." So the launch is still, still going to happen. I mean, they're not going anywhere, but they pushed it back. Now, I have some thoughts on this. I think personally, with the current market sell-off, now let me back up for a second. It could be this is entirely true, that they need to, they're seeing so much interest, so many people are coming where they need to make sure everything's in order. I've dealt with companies and launching services and products, and there's many times delays, right? So that this could absolutely be true. But also, which could also be possible, they are pushing it back, because a lot of these guys, the big money, they move in different circles than we do. And this is all coordinated where they may want to launch it at the time of maybe when they think Bitcoin ETF is going to be approved by the SEC, and to build up on that momentum, because they don't want to launch when the market is falling like it is right now and sentiment is low, right? They may want to, let the market plateau and even out a bit and move sideways so that people are not like, oh my gosh, panicking, like it's falling, right? Where there's like FUD and there's a lot, it's just, this sentiment is not great. So that is a possibility. I'm not ignorant to say that it's something like that couldn't happen. But it could be, honestly, they are being delayed because of things they need to sort out. And they did indeed publish that blog post here from the CEO, where she goes through the whole detail here of why and how and the different questions and so forth. And there's one thing here that I thought was interesting. Okay, why are you starting with Bitcoin? Will you add other digital currencies? So I think that's a big question everyone has had. Bitcoin today accounts for over half of the total crypto market capitalization and has been deemed to be a commodity, and its derivatives are regulated in the US by the CFTC. As the world's most liquid and widely distributed cryptocurrency, and where we've seen the most customer demand, Bitcoin's profile creates a liquid product on which to build a futures contract. We'll consider additional contracts as the landscape evolves and as we receive additional customer feedback. about what they want and need. So of course they're going to list eventually. This is a very generic answer. They're going to start with Bitcoin futures, test the waters, and as the demand goes up. So like, with XRP, for example, starts just surging in volume because of banks and so forth going on XRapid, then and there's a demand around it. Of course, they're going to launch an XRP futures, and then Ethereum and so forth, right? So I just want to make sure I call that out, and you guys can absolutely check out her blog post here. So once again, a bit disappointing that it's pushed back, but it is what it is, and they're being transparent at least. But like I said, there's still the possibility of coordination of, okay, let's pull back, let's let the prices drop, and then we'll launch in Q1 next year, which guys like Mike Novogratz and many others are saying approval of the Bitcoin ETF from the SEC could happen, CBOE and the Bakkt. So let's see how this plays out, guys. Now, some other major news, which I thought was very interesting. 3 of the best-known crypto trading firms are banding together on a new venture to bring crypto to the next level. 3 over-the-counter desks, Cumberland, Genesis Trading, and Circle Trade, are providing data for a new Bitcoin index. The index, MVIS Bitcoin US OTC Spot Index, will serve as a base for VanEx ETF and could be used by institutional investors to get a better sense of what the market looks like. VanEx Bitcoin specialist Gabar Gurbach says OTC data is more reliable than exchange data. Obviously, OTC, over the counter, and that is who buys over the counter? Big money. You and I buy on the exchanges, but the big money buy over the counter. And I get what he's saying there, because exchanges, there's a lot of people trading and trying to do quick overnight pump and dumps and things like that and flips. So he's saying they're going to build get the information from OTC, because that's a more better pulse on demand and things like that. A band of cryptocurrency trading desks is opening up their books to help institutions better understand the price of Bitcoin, and they're hoping the move will take the floundering market to the next level. 3 major cryptocurrency over-the-counter traders, Genesis Trading, Cumberland, and Circle Trade, announced that they would provide data for a new index. And let me skip ahead here. Whereas most of the attention in crypto has been on large spot exchanges, most of the action happens on OTC desks. What have we been talking about? Big money buying over the counter. Even Ripple said they had a whole bunch of institutions buying XRP from them, right? That was now reflected in the exchanges. They're buying directly from them. That's over the counter. Trading volumes across crypto market floated around $20 billion in the recent days, but some estimates put OTC volumes significantly higher. See? The bigger deals have to go to OTC. A lot of the exchanges limit the order size, so you have to break up your orders, and that's just fatal, explained Monica Somerville, Director of FinTech Research at Tap Group. So these guys are coming together, and they're going to build this over-the-counter index, and I get what they're saying. It's going to be a more true indicator of the price and demand, because you have these big institutions buying over-the-counter, and it's not manipulated on the exchange. You know what I mean? Obviously, what we've been talking about, they're going to fill their bags, and I think right now they're manipulating the market, selling off, let the prices drop low, and a lot more folks are going to buy in. And then it's, this Bitcoin ETF is going to get approved. We got a Bakkt launch. We got Fidelity, TD Ameritrade, and many others that are going to be coming in 2019, and they're going to pump it back up. So remember, look long term, right? Don't be a prisoner of the moment. And sure, it's rough to see the prices go down, but you need to understand what's happening here, manipulation and market cycles as well. And look at the facts, right? I always tell you, look at what the big money's doing, and here we have details on what these big guys are doing. Now, remember, I was just mentioning that we're seeing the governments are moving towards regulation and putting things in place. This is a sign, because they're going to get pressure from the bigger companies and so forth, the guys with money, to get clarity on all this. And India here is to spell out a draft cryptocurrency regulations in December. We know the SEC also mentioned that they are going to be releasing, I believe, a guide in December as well. So Quartz reports that Indian government is set to lay out a draft of its regulations for cryptocurrencies in next month, clarifying its stance on how the digital assets can be used and traded in the country. So do you think if this market, whatever, was going down as though it's going to die, they would be wasting the time to do this? No, guys. It's here to stay. It's here to stay. It's going to be a roller coaster ride to the next bull run, but this market's here to stay. So also what we see, Singapore Stock Exchange clarifies rules for listed firms issuing ICOs. So everybody's putting out their regulations, their guides, their services, their custodian services, trading services. Singapore Exchange has clarified the rules for publicly listed companies planning to conduct initial coin offerings. In a column published Thursday, Tan Boon Jin, CEO of the stock exchange's regulatory subsidiary, SGX RegCo, stressed that any tokens launched in an ICO are not listed on the SGX and that these rules are applicable only for the companies themselves. As per the guidelines, any listed company planning to hold an ICO is required to consult with the SGC. So, like I said, they're building the infrastructure, they're building the guardrails, the safeguards for saying, okay, yeah, companies are doing ICOs, there's this crypto and that crypto, great. Here are the guidelines you need to abide by. And this is what you need in place for the growth, because look at what we're talking about here, stock exchanges, and governments are getting on board, and it's going to take off, guys, but we got to be patient. I know me saying it's going to take off and the prices are tanking, but I hope you understand when I say this, I'm looking bigger picture long term. So please don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's going to take off tomorrow. I'm just saying based on the facts, based on what's the movements that are happening, it is here to grow. And like I said, Ronnie articulated this well, right, long term, and how even the tech stocks from the 90s, guys, how folks who invested made a lot of money, right? Your Googles, your Amazons, and many others, Cisco and so forth. So big things are ahead. We just got to be patient. Shout out to Leonidas here, who tweeted the following: Genesis Capital, they offer institutions the ability to borrow Bitcoin and other digital currencies. Q3 insights on the lending desk that they launched in March. Q3 increase in lending of XRP from 0% in Q1 to 17.8% of the total. So this was very interesting, as far as the lending. And it's interesting that, some of these institutions are borrowing, and it wouldn't surprise me that they're borrowing to do trades and, of course, the dump on the market. And then, of course, they'll buy back in, at the lower prices. So that's pretty much what they're doing to drive those prices down. And, it looks like XRP was a big part of this. And you see these activities are still happening regardless of how the market's going. Let's see here. The next item, Leonidas, this guy does some great research, man. BitZ Exchange will list XRP on November 22nd with a USDT pair. So let's see. They are based in... It says, founded in 2016, BitZ is one of the world's leading digital asset trading platform, providing professional digital asset trading and OTC services over the counter. See, guys, this stuff is happening, and it's not reflected in CoinMarketCap or Litecoin Watch because it's not on the exchanges. So that's why knowledge is power here once you understand what's happening behind the scenes. That's why I always tell you guys, don't focus so much on this and the movements here. There's going to be a lot of volatility in this market, low swings, but also very high swings. But you got to watch what is going on. It doesn't say where they're located, but continued additions and adoption of XRP. Now, Exchange, you guys, I've talked a bit about them before. It says they are now fully operational. Verified users can now buy and sell Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, Ethereum, and XRP with the Great Britain pound. Please allow some time for sellers to onboard and begin listing their coins. So more exchanges popping up. Bear market or not, man, these guys are, throughout this year, we had so many exchanges pop up. We have a lot of exchanges expanding, mergers and acquisitions. So we are still on track for the growth of this market. We just have to be patient. And I hope you guys understand these underlying principles. And if you please watch the interview with Ronnie Moez that I did yesterday, guys. A lot of insights. This guy brings a lot of history and insights and understands market manipulation and principles because he's been in the stock market. He's seen certain things and he sees the crypto market being taken advantage of. And he talked a bit about, the big institutional players are going to try to get all the weak hands out. They will try to get as many people out because they don't want to give up their power. And crypto brings the opportunity where, where wealth, a great shift of wealth can come to the common man. And I hope you guys understand that and what's happening. And keep in mind the OTC market, the over-the-counter. That's so important because it's happening big time, even with XRP, right? What did Ripple come out and say Q3? That they saw increasing purchase of XRP from Wall Street and different folks, but it was purchased directly from them, not on the exchange. Now, is OTC gonna, are they just gonna continue to buy OTC? No, because they'll be buying over the counter. It's not reflecting the exchange, and price won't go up. So eventually, what they're gonna start doing as they buy over the counter, they're gonna start selling it, obviously with a commission and all that at a higher price. And what's gonna happen as they start marketing it and crypto goes mainstream? It's eventually going to start reflecting in the exchanges because the demand will be there because people are going to recognize, oh, wow, this company's holding this crypto and that's happening and this adoption. So I hope you understand. They have to get their return on investment, right? So that's where patience is important. These guys are not worried about price drops like this. They're the ones doing it. I hope you get that. So keep holding, guys. Hold strong. Remember my point, because I see the tweets and the comments on my videos saying dump all this coin for XRP. No. And this is just me. You can do whatever you want. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm personally diversifying, but you guys know my approach. Logical, factual, doesn't make sense. Does it have real world utility? Now, the only exception here is Bitcoin. It's because it's the original. It's now moving towards like a gold where it's going to be dormant. It doesn't necessarily need to be used where, it's going to be just like a hedge or whatever it is. And I'm not selling my Bitcoin. I'm long on it. And like I say, even Brad Garlinghouse said he was long on Bitcoin. So some of you guys in the XRP community, just cool your jets a bit. It's okay if people hold other cryptos. Now, we can disagree on certain tokens if they actually have value or not. But that's where you as an investor do your own research, make your own decisions. So I just wanted to make sure you guys understand that. But as I said, I'm most bullish on XRP. It's the majority of my portfolio because of its utility and its use case and what's coming, along the lines of that. So guys, what do you think about this news? I know there's a lot I covered here. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Thumbs up if you like this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Thank you guys for your support, and I will talk to you all later.